While reading through this in chapter 6, they had the metaphor about teaching as coaching, and they discussed practicing drills and then actually playing into the game. On page 85 is a paraphrase. It says, drills are important, but all players need to play in the game to actually learn. So actually, the play in the game is addressing the standard, and then the drills are what needs to be, what skills they need to have in order to be able to fully be able to address the standard. So I teach language arts. So for me to put it in terms that I can understand would be if they have to approach a text and they need to get central idea, theme, and supporting details in that. But the drill would then be if they can read well or not, and then comprehend what they read. I teach seventh grade. I often have students who can't read that well. I've had a student who couldn't even read second grade sight words. Now, when I would show them a video, or we'd have a podcast, or if I would read out loud, then he was able to then somewhat approach. I mean, he wasn't great at it, but he could approach central idea, theme, and supporting details. However, if I just gave him a piece of paper and said, read this, and then determine those three things, he never would be able to do it. So the skill in this case would be actually reading, where it's necessary and it will make them better at the standard. However, it's if I only focus on reading with these kids with differentiation that need the differentiation, then they're not actually getting to play in the game, or they're not getting to address the standard. So too often I would find that with this one student, I just spent time with him trying to get him to read. Because in my opinion at the time, and I still stand by this somewhat, where he needed that skill maybe more than he needed the standard skill. That was an extreme case. However, now with the differentiation and thinking like this, and the understanding by design, now I know that there are ways that I can approach what I want them to know and still keep the standards high without focusing on a skill or focusing too much on the drills. This allows me now to approach it in a different way with a clearer head, with a clearer mindset about I want them all to get to the same place. They're going to take different routes because some students have different skills than others. I just can't fall back into the same patterns of making sure that I'm only drilling and sidelining some kids because I don't think that they're ready to technically play in the game. So I really like that metaphor. And again, it was on page 85.